Good morning. I am the crazy lady who is sitting outside when it's like 20 something degrees. I can see my breath, like it's cold, and I'm not even wearing a coat. But this is one of my favorite times of day when it is cold and it is quiet. I'm coming to you on a Sunday. I don't know if you're watching this in the morning or in the afternoon, if you actually watch the video or if you just listen while you're driving in the car or getting ready in the morning. But it is Sunday here in Annapolis, and one of the things I want to encourage you to do is to be at peace and to be still this morning. For us, the Devane family, we are churchgoers. My husband is a pastor. Right now I'm serving as interim music minister, but that will only last a couple more weeks. We do church. We do church every Sunday morning. It's sort of in our culture. It's sort of how we function as a family. But one of the things I have noticed through the years that is the hardest thing about going to church is not being present in worship. Here's what I mean. When we are to worship God, we should be bringing all of ourselves. But if we're honest, when we come into a church or come into a time of worship, we have come carrying baggage like crazy. All the things that we're worried about, our to-do list, all the things we're stressing about, maybe a conversation we had with a person even right before we go into worship. And then sitting in the worship space, wherever you call worship space could be in your bedroom daily. It could be in a church, a house of God. It could be on a boat, on the water, which, trust me, that is definitely worshipful. Whatever you call worship, the hardest part, I think, is putting down all the pieces that we carry so that we can come to God. Wherever you are this morning, be still. That phrase, 2 words, be still, is written in scripture. It's used in hymns and in carols. There is something about being still and letting go of the worry and letting go of the to-do list to just be present with God. It's a very hard thing to do. This morning, sit with me and be still. The only way that God is going to talk to you is if your ears and your heart and your mind is open. I've gotten messages already from people who are struggling, not only because it's Christmas time and the holidays and all the schedule needs, work loads, to do family activities, church activities, whatever the list is. It's hard, especially at this time of year, to be still. My husband is preaching today on shepherds, on the shepherd's part of the story of the birth of Jesus Christ. And there is something so beautiful to learn from the shepherds who were doing the night shift on a hillside. They were probably experiencing true stillness. Have you ever stood outside at nighttime? I don't know where you live, if you can see the stars, but the quiet of the night, if you can get the city and the cars that are driving by, if you can get those noises to go away, that stillness is unbelievable. Patrick and I watched a movie yesterday called The Aeronauts, it's on Amazon Prime if you're an Amazon Prime user, but it's about this person, now I can't remember his name. Eddie Redmayne plays his character, and he wants to become a meteorologist. This is before meteorology and the study of the weather was a thing. And he heard this woman who is an aeronaut, who flies balloons up in the air to take him up above the highest level that any human had ever gone, which was at the time 23,000 feet, which is crazy. I looked at Patrick and said, that's way too high for me. So they're in this balloon, and they said they noticed that at first, in several layers, the balloon carried the noise of the city below. They could hear bells from a church. They could hear noise that came from below. And then they hit a certain cap, a certain level of the atmosphere that it was pure silence. We don't reach those levels anymore. The shepherds sitting in their silence at nighttime, that's where the message of God came. That's when the angels came. They talk about God being a still small voice. He wants us to pay attention and to be present in relationship with him. And the only way that you're going to hear a still small voice is to be quiet. Wherever you are this Sunday morning, may you find moments where you can be still, where you can be quiet, and where you can really put down the to-do list, put down the worry, put down the request list, put down the needs that you have, even noble needs. Put them down and not make it the first thing that you bring to God, but just be with God. I love you all, and I am so thankful for your support and your encouragement. Wherever you are this Sunday morning, whatever you are doing, may you find joy and laughter and love when you look up.